The Wenatchee School District is gearing up for the start of the school year. Last month, the district was bracing for immediate budget challenges as the U.S. Department of Education withheld billions in federal funding for migrant education, multilingual education, and before and after school programs, as well as teacher training. About $2.9 million that was originally withheld from Wenatchee schools was released by July 31st, but there's still uncertainty about the exact amounts the district will receive. In tonight's feature story, Superintendent Corey Callahar spoke with NCW Life's Dan Kuntz about the status of that federal funding.
It's hard to believe, but the 27th of August, a Wednesday, it's back to school for the Wenatchee School District, the largest of the school districts in north central Washington. Eastmont also starts on the 27th. Most of them do. The man to my immediate left doesn't get any time off in the summertime. Usually July is kind of quiet. Not the case this last July with Corey Callahar, the superintendent of the Wenatchee School District. You usually get a little downtime, Corey, in July, a couple of weeks off, family time.
Yeah.
That wasn't the case this year.
No, this year was very different, and it was strange for us to address budget challenges in July. That's usually not the timeline that we like to work on, but it was absolutely necessary based on what we were hearing and what was being signaled from the feds. Yeah, very necessary.
The feds, about 12%, I'm rounding off here, of the school district's budget, but this is specified money for specific programs and services provided by the federal government. You didn't know if you're going to get any money at all until the end of last month.
July 25th.
Where are we with that?
Yeah.
They've released the money, but you haven't gotten it yet? Something along those lines?
Correct. Yeah. So it's you're very correct on. We are reliant on our federal dollars from the nation, and it's for specific programs, migrant funding, multilingual funding, some of our before and after school programs, and a lot of our professional development for our teachers are all in that pocket. And what we had heard from the nation is, don't count on this money for 26-27. And we're like, okay, that gives us time to be thoughtful. We can prepare. We can do the reductions in a timely fashion. And then the funding, which has already been approved by Congress, was not released on July 1st like it usually is. And so July 7th, the superintendent of the state of Washington said, don't count on getting the money for 25-26 school year. That scared us. That's $2.7 million that we are counting on to run our programming this year. And so we spent from July 7th to July 25th figuring out how to reduce $2.7 million. But the funds were released on the 25th of July, which is, thank goodness, we love that. We can continue our programming for this year. But you're right, we don't know exactly what the apportionment we're going to receive, if it's what we were promised in the spring, or if it's going to be a different percentage of that.
Is it like a great deal of your budget based on enrollment, or is there other varying factors on how much you're actually going to get?
This part is not necessarily based on enrollment. It is targeted to specific students, and it's tracked for specific students, but our numbers don't change a lot in our migrant program and our multilingual programs, and so we're pretty solid there. We'll just have to see what is actually ultimately released.
Any idea why they didn't send you the check on the first day of July and the money wasn't released until the end of the month? What's that all about?
We heard kind of what everyone else heard, and that the funding was being checked for accuracy and different purposes and how it was being used. But to have every state in the entire nation not receive those dollars, I don't know how in 25 days you actually do an assessment on those funds and how they're used. So I'm not sure exactly what happened behind the scenes.
But going forward for the 2026-2027 school year, you're going under the assumption that money is not going to happen at all.
Absolutely.
And yet you still have a mandate to educate.
A mandate to educate and do all of the things that these programs do fund, specifically for our migrant population and our multilingual population too. So yeah, it becomes an unfunded mandate.